Right there, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey guys, good morning. How's everyone doing? Good morning. Great. My name is Daniel Dobolos. I'll be speaking today. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, basically today I'm going to be talking about faith. Just something that I've been praying over, and I had no idea what I was going to be talking about until literally like yesterday night. But then I prayed a lot, and I talked to my dad, and I talked to Justin, and you know, this came up. So faith, and there's a traffic light thingy. So I guess I'm going to start with a story because that's how these things go. And nowadays, if you want to be a good speaker, you need to start with a story. So basically, as you guys know, I'm pretty good friends with Patrick. He's right there. Hi, Patrick. He's a cool guy, and he gives me rides everywhere because I'm bummed I don't have car/license. So basically, you know, being in a car with Patrick, him giving you a ride is one of the most amazing experiences you can have because he just like picks you up, he turns on Celine Dion, and it's beautiful. And he starts singing along, you feel so happy. So you know, where he's driving, I'm riding the passenger seat shotgun, and you know, we're jamming out to Celine Dion, and we're all happy and stuff, and we come up to this traffic light, and it's red. And suddenly he gets all serious, and I'm really scared. I'm like, what's going on? What are you about to tell me? You know, we were just really happy, and now you're just like, damn. What's up, Pat? Have you ever wondered what would happen if the stoplight told us to go, but it also told the other person to go? Like, how do we know that the stoplight works? I was like, oh, it just blows my mind. And I was so scared for the rest of the ride. I was so scared for my life. Like, I thought the world was about to end or something because Patrick just turned my life completely upside down. But I guess that kind of introduces the idea of faith. You know, we in everything that we do, there's a little bit of faith involved. We have faith that these devices that control our traffic flow in Atlanta and all of our places of residence, we just have faith that they'll work, and if they don't, it sucks because then we'll all die. And that's basically what Patrick was getting at. So that's like the central idea, and kind of a central idea on how we operate and how we can trust things to, I guess, dictate how we live and stuff like that. So I have a verse from Hebrews 11:1, which kind of defines what faith is. And it says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see." So, you know, that's kind of like the cliche Christian definition of faith that we've all been given ever since we've been coming to church. But like, what does it mean? And generally I see that to be a good speaker to help people understand, you know, kind of complex concepts in scripture. A lot of speakers translate key phrases, or a lot of good speakers translate key phrases into Greek or into Hebrew to get, you know, the original definition, to just get to the nitty-gritty. But I want to be a great speaker, so what I did is I translated the whole thing to Greek. So, Greek. Now, what does this do? Because I just complicated everything a lot that I did not need to complicate, and now none of us know what we're talking about because we don't speak this archaic language. Well, I guess the point of it is that just like this verse that's been translated to Greek, faith can sometimes seem like the concept of faith just seems like it's a whole other language. Like, we don't really understand, it's not concrete, and it sounds kind of stupid, you know, just putting your belief into something that's not concrete, that may not even be there, but we just have to believe. And, you know, with the whole idea that Justin was talking about before, and this month being, you know, lost in translation, this is what the Bible can kind of seem like to us. And we just got lost in all the phrasing, all the wording of the Bible. We don't understand, where to start, how to go about, I guess, increasing our faith, or even, starting out with our faith. And I think it's pretty much a universal idea that we all want to have faith. No one, or I don't think anyone in this room is going to be like, I don't want faith. I want less faith, actually. That's why I come to church. No one's going to say that, because we all recognize the fact that we need faith in something. We need faith in order to not be freaked out every time we come up to a traffic light, and to not think that we're about to die every time we have to put our lives, or we have to rely on something other than ourselves. Otherwise, we would just all go crazy. So yeah, here's an orange. And there's a reason for that, actually. My dad was telling me a story when we were talking about this little lesson that I wanted to give. I was just trying to get his feedback and just trying to see if he could give me any input. And he told me this great story that kind of sort of defined faith, that kind of defined what your walk in faith should look like. And it was a story about this speaker who was, speaking, because that's what speakers do, at this random conference. And I'm not exactly sure as to the context of it, but he was basically talking about how faith is dead. We don't need faith. We don't need to put our trust in things that we don't understand, because it's useless, it's pointless. And this kid stood up from the audience, and he had a random orange for some reason. And he was like, "Hey, speaker, do you see this orange I have in my hand? Do you know what this orange tastes like?" And the speaker was like, "Well, of course not. It's in your hand. I'm not tasting it. How can I know what that orange tastes like if I haven't tasted it?" And the kid was like, "Exactly. You talk about faith. You talk about how it's useless, how we have no use for it. But it seems to me like you've never really tried to delve into faith. You've never really taken a bite out of that orange. You've never tried faith out before you can judge it. Maybe you know about faith. Maybe you know about people that profess to have a faith, but it seems to me like you don't know faith, because if you did, you wouldn't be saying that it's useless or that it's pointless." So that brings me to the next verse that we have, Romans 10:17. "Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word of Christ." This can seem a little confusing, at least it did to me when I first read it, because it kind of seems to me like you need to have faith in order to have faith. You need to believe in order to believe. And it's kind of, it doesn't make sense logically in a sense, because if faith is putting your belief in something, how can it make sense that you need to have faith in order to acquire faith, or believe in things that may not even be there in order to be able to believe in things that may not even be there? You know what I'm saying? And exactly, that's exactly what the kid was saying to the speaker with the whole orange example. You have this faith, and specifically with the Christian faith, you have this faith that you sort of need to take a bite out of in order to understand what it is. And once you taste it, then you'll understand what faith is. And if faith were a verb, you would understand how to faith in a way.